Can Oli McBurnie stay hot to help Hull City take down the Hornets? Hello there, and welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel, where today I'll be giving you my preview, prediction, and everything that you need to know ahead of Hull City's clash against Watford down in Watford. And it's going to be a bit of an interesting one, this one. We haven't had the best track record against Watford recently, but they are struggling a little bit at the moment, to say the least. We'll come into that a little bit in a second, but let's start off with our injury update, our little bit of a roundup around the injury cases at Hull City. Well, the one big blow that we have heard from this past week is Mohamed Baloumi. Now, we know that he went off at just before half-time in the last fixture Hull City played against Southampton, that 3-1 win. Went off just before half-time with a hamstring, wasn't his ACL, so there's a little bit of hope surrounding that. Maybe it wasn't as bad as what we thought originally when he went down on the field. He is going to be out, though, for about 6 to 8 weeks and missing out 2 months more of action. Mohamed Baloumi is due to take. It will be expected that he might return possibly before the international break in November, but it's most likely going to be afterwards. There is no real structured time frame on this, and hopefully things do progress nicely with Mohamed Baloumi, as he has really fought back to get back from his ACL injury from last season, and now he's sort of struck down by the injury hammer once again. But some positive news: Hull City are handed a bit of a boost with Liam Miller. Now, Liam Miller wasn't involved in the Hull City squad last week after saying that he possibly could be. He was also scheduled to be involved in a under-21s match during midweek. Wasn't done so, as the squad really thought that he would be more suited to be spending a bit more time in Cottingham at training and being part of the squad for this weekend. So we are assured that he will be on the bench for this one, Liam Miller. Also suspected to be on the bench will be Brandon Williams. He has obviously missed out the past few games due to a little bit of a head concussion injury that he picked up in a training a couple of weeks back. Nothing to worry about really on that one, and he will most likely be on the bench to feature in this one. Of course, still with Brandon Williams, he is trying to get his fitness back and fitness up and ready. And also, I wouldn't replace Ryan Giles the way that he's playing at the moment in that left back spot, so Brandon Williams will be taking a spot on the bench most likely in this one. A bit of an update on not Sean McLaughlin, he's no longer at Hull City. Semi Ajayi and also Matt Crooks. They are both not available still for this one. We keep on getting a week push back on them, so hopefully them two are fit and raring to go. There is expected they will be back before the next international break, but we will wait and see on that one. So some positive news and a little bit of down news there coming out of Hull City's injury camp. So let's what my Hull City predicted starting 11. Get my words out there. Powered by friends over at Fanhub. If you don't know what Fanhub is, it's a fantastic free app where you get rewarded for being a football fan for free. Go and check them out in the link in the description. So, who do I think that Sergei Gierovic will send out for this one? Well, I do think, of course, it's going to be Ivo Panda in the net, still looking for Hull City's first clean sheet since opening day. Unfortunately, lost it right at the death of it last time against Southampton, conceding that one to make it a 3-1 win instead of a 3-0 win. So he's still looking for some positiveness there against a Watford side that have been struggling to score goals. But we'll come on to that in a second, as I say. Back lineup that is unchanged with Louis Coyle, John Egan, Charlie Hughes, and Ryan Giles. I mean, Ryan Giles has been absolutely fantastic this season. I think he's only had 1, maybe 2 games where he's been a little bit subpar, but on the most part, his balls into the box, his balls to Oli McBurnie, shall we say, has been absolutely fantastic, and the work that he's done down that left-hand side has been something short of a miracle work comparing to where he was last season with us, and of course when he went out on loan to Middlesbrough for the second half of the season. Of course, there is going to be 1 change within the squad, but I've predicted there are going to be 2 changes. I really liked how Darko Gyabi featured after coming on to replace Mohamed Baloumi in last weekend's fixture, but I do think he's going to place Amir Hadzayametrovic in this one, which of course then means John Lundstrom will be in the defensive midfield partnership with him. I do like that partnership maybe a bit more than Amir and Lundstrom. Of course, you've got Lundstrom to play that more holding midfield role, can drop back into the defensive line, as we have seen, and then you've got Darko Gyabi, who we saw last last Sunday. He can go on runs, he can get forwards, he can show his height, he can shove around and stuff. So I kind of like that partnership, and I maybe would like to see that happen. Of course, Amir Hadzaimitrovic has looked okay to start his time at Hull City, but not really taking anything by storm. And maybe with a 3-game week ahead of Hull City, of course, we play tomorrow, Tuesday, and then following Saturday, it's going to be a busy one, so maybe a bit of squad rotation it's in turn for Hull City. Joe Gelhardt will still be in the squad, though, behind the attacking line, not the defensive one. Kyle Joseph, I think he's going to still be in there. Fantastic stuff from him. Once again, his work rate is second to none. It's good, I should mean. It's not second to none. His work rate is absolutely fantastic, and of course was rewarded with his second Hull City goal and his first MKM goal last weekend. Will be the other change being Joel Ndala. He'll come in to replace, of course, the injured Mohamed Baloumi, which I presume that Ndala will be out on the left and possibly Joseph on the right. Of course, you could make contentions that the replacement up forwards could be David Akintola. He has been seen to be the favourite to go out on the right wing, so we'll wait and see on this one. But this is sort of what I kind of want and predict mashed into one there. And of course, up top, the man who needs no introductions is big Oli McBurnie. So, some other news heading into this one. We'd be shocked to see Ozan Tufan's face on there, but I'll get on to him in a second. Some behind-the-scenes news coming out from Hull City, as Swansea are apparently keen to get head of recruitment Martin Hodge back from Hull City. So, of course, Martin Hodge has had a fantastic summer period at Hull City, coming in, being the new head of recruitment, and Hull City wanting to keep hold of him, but Swansea, the team that formerly had him, are trying to get him back. So it's going to be a bit of a testing time, I think, that one. I think Hull City are trying to keep hold of him, and it maybe sounds like Martin Hodge is trying to stay at Hull City, as apparently there is a good relationship between Martin Hodge, Jared Dublin, and also Sergei Kirevich. It's meant to be a good, strong relationship, so all things looking good on that standpoint. Hull City's new third shirt has been announced, all blue affair. I'm still a little bit torn on it. I'm not sure whether it's going to be absolutely fantastic or it's going to be one where we're probably trying to forget about it, but it's certainly something different. It's blue, it's got white detailings in it, it's got a bit of that tiger sort of backline, and it's kind of unique and also a little bit sort of what we've had in years prior, of course, with that blue away kit, blue alternate kit, should I say. So let me know what you think in the comments down below to the new third shirt. I have picked it up, so I will be wearing that as soon as it arrives. And then Ozan Tufan, why is he on the screen? Well, Jared Dublin has confirmed that Hull City did look to try and bring back Ozan Tufan over the summer. Hull City eventually opted out, pursuing the deal for the former Hull City player and fan favourite. So, of course, we could have had Jared Dublin bringing back Ozan Tufan this summer. Didn't quite happen. Presumably, this was through the flurry of Trabzonspor transfers. Of course, we have Enes Destan and also John Lundstrom both come over from there this summer. And possibly it was Ozan Tufan to work his way in there as well. Could have happened. But I'm not overly upset about this one. I don't feel that we necessarily needed Ozan Tufan this summer. And certainly looking at the squad in the sort of state that we are in right now, where would Ozan Tufan fit in? Well, he's not really going to take a starting spot off Joe Gelhardt, who's looked quite good to start his second loan period off at Hull City, and I'm not really seeing where else he could have fitted in. Of course, it would be nice to have that depth piece, but as Sergei Kirevich said, he's not looking for depth pieces. He's looking for players who are going to challenge for the starting roles. So not overly concerned about this Ozan Tufan missed transfer. So back into Hull City versus Watford. Last meetings, of course, it's been a little bit of a bore affair. Last couple of times we have met Watford. Of course, last time down in Watford, it was a 1-0 win for them. But the time before that, it was a 1-1 draw at the MKM Stadium. And then the third last fixture against the sides was a 0-0 affair. Seems to be it's either a 0-0 ball draw, or it's a team snatches a 1-0 win or a 1-1 win, as we've seen there in the home fixture back on the 11th of December in 2024. So it'll be interesting to see how this one shapes out. Of course, form-wise heading into this one, well, Watford aren't looking too good. They've only won one game this season, drawn 2 and lost 3. Meanwhile, Hull City have won themselves 2 they have drawn 2 and lost 2, if my memory serves me correct, which I think it does. We'll come onto that in a second once we see the table-wise. But yeah, Watford aren't looking too good at the moment, and when you look at the amount of goals that they've scored, yeah, it's really not looking well for Watford. Table-wise says it all. Of course, it's a hilarious look at the table this early on in the season. We're in 14th, they're in 21st, and 3 points separate the sides. So, of course, a win for Watford could send them above us in the table. But I think this is sort of a good analysis to look at how both sides have started off the season. Of course, Hull City have had their defensive troubles this season, which is the reason why both teams are sporting the same negative 2 goal difference. But when you look at goals scored, who would have thought that Hull City would have outscored a team like Watford in a season already so far? 10 goals for Hull City, only 5 for Watford. But the results are all saying the same. So really looking for Hull City to try and progress on with this one. There's some rumblings coming out from Watford that they are maybe looking to sack their manager if the result doesn't come his way this time out for Watford. So it'd be nice, of course, to bring 3 points back to the MKM Stadium, and also to send a manager packing when you go down and visit Watford. Always a nice thing to do, isn't it? So some former Tigers that we will be meeting. Nathan Baxter, of course, he's currently at Watford as I think a backup or a third choice keeper. I don't believe he's made an appearance yet for Watford. But of course, he'll be there. We may see him in the stands or on the bench. And of course, Tom Ince, former Tiger, and currently, I think, in his second or third season at Watford, I should say. So, player to watch out for. Well, there's a real short selection of players to watch out for, considering Watford's poor starts to the season. But I've gone with a bit of a young player, 19 years old, Australian, and in 6 championship fixtures, he scored 2 goals, assisted 1, and that's Nestori Irankunda, if I've pronounced his name correctly. Seems to be a brilliant young spark of energy for Watford this season, and could certainly progress on to do some big and better things. Was involved in Bayern Munich's second team, and of course, in his first spell at Watford this season. So certainly a player to watch out for getting forward for Watford. So, score prediction. 2-1 win for the Tigers. That's what I'm going for. I think Hull City will pick out back-to-back wins and progress even more nicely. And of course, shore up that defence a little bit more. I don't think it's going to be another clean sheet, as we haven't had one since opening day, as I mentioned. But I do think Hull City will pick up the win with goals through Oli McBurnie. I mean, it's stupid not to pick Oli McBurnie to score in a game for Hull City, certainly at the moment. And then another goal for Joel Ndala in black and amber. So I leave you with that photo of Sergei Kirich. As I ask you to let me know down in the comments what your prediction is out of this game, who you think will score, what you think the scoreline will be, and if you think Hull City will win. Hopefully you do so. Of course, I will be live tomorrow for a watch-along party here on the channel to see, hopefully, Hull City pick up back-to-back wins in the Championship. And of course, I'll have my reaction video out after the full-time whistle has been blown. So stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing to keep up to date with everything Hull City. And I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream. Up the Tigers!